It's working. It's working. Will it stay? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is ScrapMan bringing you another episode of Trailmakers, and today we are back in the water update playing with some more water things. Last time we made this boat, and this time we're going to be trying to make a hydrofoil, which is basically a boat that kind of skims above the water because of fins that are below the water. I don't know if it's actually possible in this game, but we are going to give it a try and see what happens. Now, one of the more common requests on the last video was to do a submarine, and I thought about doing that, and I did a quick test just to see if it's possible. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like submarines are actually possible at this stage in the game because the seat still kicks you out when you go underwater. And to show you what I mean, here is my little test vehicle that I made just to see if we're able to actually make anything that goes underwater. And as you can see, it kicks me out. So even though the seat is just barely under the surface, it does not let me get inside and it kicks me out. So making anything that is remotely close to a submarine doesn't really seem like it's going to be that possible yet. But judging by the patch notes, I think that submarines are planned for the future. It's just not quite yet. But anyway, hydrofoils. So hydrofoils are really interesting because it kind of looks like your boat is floating above the water. And in a way, it kind of is. And that's supposed to reduce a lot of the drag and make you able to go a lot faster. And basically, my plan is to use the aerodynamic wings under the water at an angle upwards so that it's going to hopefully bring my boat up to the surface the faster we go. And I'm hoping that we're going to actually be able to reach a stage in which will essentially the entire boat aspect will be above the water. Now I'm going to make my boat really light and kind of compact. There's not going to be that much to the actual boat part, I don't think. But hopefully this idea is actually possible. I'm not entirely positive if this is going to work. Now, theoretically with this, once we get to speed, our pontoons will be useless because the pontoons will actually be above the water and we're not going to be using buoyancy in any way to actually make our boat float. It's going to be all water resistance on the fins. Okay, so I want to use some aerodynamic blocks. So I know that I want it to be light, so I'm going to use these grid blocks. So this is essentially going to be an arm going underneath the water. Now, how long do we need to make it? I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to... I think this might be a little bit long, but I'm going to go with 3 at first. No, let's just go with 2 lengths. We can always just add on top of it once we actually see how it looks. So the first thing I want to do is make this itself aerodynamic enough to cut through the water. So I'm going to just add some of these aerodynamic blocks right onto the front of it here. So basically this is the front right here, and it's going to be, this is the part that's going to be sticking down into the water, and hopefully these blocks will help it cut through the water without too much resistance. So now it's going to be the tough part. We're going to figure out how we're going to put the fins. I don't know how many fins we're going to need. Let's start off kind of basic. So for these fins, we're going to need to be able to adjust the angle because that's going to determine how much lift we're going to get out of the water. I'm just going to go with this to start off with. We may need to add more as we experiment, but this right here is a start. It does feel a little bit small. So this is going to be the front. We're also going to need something in the back as well. And we're going to need to put our engines under the water. So I think on the back one is where we're going to need to put our engines. And we got to figure out how to turn. There's a lot of different things going into this that I'm not sure how it's going to work yet. So as I'm building this, one thing that I don't understand how it's going to work is how to prevent it from actually tipping side to side. Because in some of the images I've seen, like, it doesn't seem like the hydrofoils have that much of a wide surface area underneath the water. But I don't know, I guess this is where the experimentation is going to come in. Okay, so here's what I've done for the back and the propulsion and the steering. I don't know if this is going to be effective or not. This feels really heavy back here. But I've essentially copied the front to the back, and then I separated the horizontal fins, leaving room for this tail fin, this vertical tail fin, attached to a large hinge that is going to turn left and right. So hopefully this will allow us to turn underwater, and then I have the engines right here. Looking at this, like, this just does not look like it's gonna work, but now all we have to do is build our seat on top with our boat that's going to allow us to actually float on top of the water so we can pick up some speed and hopefully lift ourselves up. This is gonna be interesting. right, so here's the basic design. I was kind of going for like a semi-hammerhead kind of feel. So like, in this way, I'm hoping it's going to even out the weight because I'm having more weight on the front than the back because there's so much more weight back here than up here. So hopefully the overall center of mass will be somewhat balanced in the middle. So now all I have to do is set an estimate of some angles here on these things. I'm just gonna go with like a conservative 15 degrees to start off with. And the back ones, I don't know. Do I have to have the back ones like that too? I don't know if I just need the front ones to angle me upwards or if I need the back ones to also kind of do the same. Let's experiment with it. Let's just see what happens. Okay, it's welding together and okay. It is floating. It's floating. Now, if you look at the fins in the front, if I press control, there we go. Now they're angled upwards. You know what? Let's just go. Let's just go. We're going to keep them flat for now and just see what happens. Okay. What? What? That like almost already worked. All right. So now I'm going to press control and angle the fins. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a little bit too much then. All right. Apparently it needs to be really subtle. This is interesting. Wait, does the turning work? Oh boy. Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about is tipping over. Okay, so let me turn them back down. So apparently 15 degrees was too much, which actually surprises me. But judging by our first little test here, I think this is doable. I really think this is doable. So I'm going to set them to like 2 degrees. Because right now they're at 15 and it just turns us right up. All right. And we can actually like beach ourselves successfully. All right, this is exciting. This is exciting. We have a chance, but it needs more engine power, I feel like. Wait, can I not do? Oh, 5. 5 is apparently the least we can do. We can't go less than 5 degrees. All right, I might need to actually make this thing heavier then. The other thing I'm actually considering doing is putting engines on the front. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. Not only is it going to make us go faster, but it's also going to weigh down the front a little bit more. So hopefully that 5 degrees will not give us an extreme push upwards like I'm afraid it's going to. All right, there we go. Now we have some engines in the front as well. And hopefully, let's see if this thing works. Let's save this with all the controls set. What? Okay, I don't like the way it does that. I don't like the way that it just teleports underwater. Okay, so here is take 2. So now you can barely see, you can see like the slight difference when I press control. Those front fins just angle only 5 degrees now. So hopefully that's going to be enough. Now let's see the difference. We're going to have them be flat starting off so we can see the difference with having front engines on with the back engines. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. All right, now here we go. We're going to angle our front fins in 3, 2, 1, angle. Oh! What is this? I'm just like completely on top. But the problem is our engines are above. I guess maybe we have to extend our engines below the fins. I'm actually really surprised at how effective this is. It's too effective. Look at that. That's incredible. Oh, wait. No, let's try turning. All right, let's go forward. All right. Now I'm going to try to turn. That kind of works. This actually kind of works. I was not expecting this to work. Okay, now we just need to have it go faster and more level. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to see what happens if I angle the back fins the same amount as the front fins. So then hopefully the back will also pull itself up and then we'll be more level. And then I'm going to move the propellers down underneath the fins. So that way we're going to get our propulsion more in the water so we can hopefully go faster. But remember, the faster we go, the more of an effect that these hydrofoil fins are going to push us up. But one thing I'm really surprised about is the fact that I don't tip over when I turn like this. Another, like, just like the kite episode, if you guys didn't see the flying kite episode, we actually made a car that pulls an unpowered flying kite. And it worked, and it was unexpected that it actually was so successful. And this is turning out to be another one of those episodes, and I love it when that happens in Trailmakers. All right, let's make some of these adjustments. So the first adjustment was going to be, what, 5 degrees to both of these? Wait, which direction, though? 5 degrees red. Yeah, so if I just bring these right down underneath, it shouldn't interfere with these fins at all from their angle, because it's only 5 degrees. All right, let's save this as a new creation and give this a try. Okay, so now, Let's just go forward. All right, so now we have the front and the back fins are going to angle, and the engines are underneath the fins now. So right now, I'm not even angled. I'm not even angled at all. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. What is going on here? Why is this happening already? I haven't even angled my fins, and it already works. What happens if I angle my fins now? Here we go. Now they're angled. Oh, and now I am just skimming right on top of the water. This is too extreme. And how are those fins? Those fins aren't even like touching the water, but they're still working for turning. Guys, this is too successful. This was too easy. All right, how do we weigh this thing down now? What should we use to weigh this thing down? I feel like not only do we need to weigh this thing down, but we need to add more speed to it too, which is going to mean we need to add even more weight. Okay, so out of these blocks, what's heavy? Like, none of this stuff is really that heavy. You know what? This raw jet engine is the heaviest thing. What if we just add some raw jet engines onto the back of this? Just like that. We've just added 400 kilograms of weight to this thing. All right, then we'll add a couple of aesthetic pieces. I think adding some of these headlamps will actually kind of look cool as like eyes almost. There we go. Now we got some eyes looking forward. You know what? And let's go all out with like the kind of shark feel. Let's add a dorsal fin to this thing. And we can also add ourselves some pectoral fins over here. There we go. How is this looking? So we've added a bit more weight onto this thing. I'm hoping that this will make it feel a little bit more realistic. Another thing I'm considering is adding another length of vertical beam between the body and the hydrofoil fins. I don't know if that's going to make it. It'll at least be able to have more separation between the boat and the water. I don't really know. I don't know if that's gonna be better or worse, but let's just go with this for now. We've added a lot of weight to it. I mean, oh, whoops. Why did those things not stay there? Those were attached. How could those not have been attached? All right, so now the question I have is this thing even gonna float, like without picking up speed? Here we go. Oh no. Oh. Well, I think we've added more weight. I think it's definitely just a little bit, just a tad bit heavier than what we started off with. But the solution is to add more pontoons, which is good because when we're above the water, those are going to weigh us down more. But when we're sitting in the water, it's going to help us float more. But we just need to figure out where can we add pontoons without them being like bad, like just aesthetically awkward to look at. All right, I've added pretty much as I can add on the underside without them being exposed too much. So hopefully, I don't even know if that's going to be enough to offset how much weight we've added to this thing, but we have to try. Please don't sink, please don't sink, please don't sink. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, all right, it sank. Okay, here we go. I've added pretty much as I can add on the sides of this craft here. So if this doesn't let us float, then we're gonna have some work to do. Please float, Mr. Hammerhead Shark. Oh! It floats! It floats! This actually doesn't look too bad now. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try to go forward with just the propellers. We're not gonna angle our fins at all. All right, here we go. We're going forward. All right, now we have a problem where the back is heavier than the front. All right, now what if I angle my fins? Okay, so we need to add more weight to the front. Okay, a spinning servo is 17 kilograms, so it's completely pointless, but I'm just gonna add one right up in there, just to put some more weight in the front. I've added 2 more engines in the front, and I've added a spinning servo underneath in the front there. So hopefully it's gonna add enough weight for us to be more level as we're floating through the water. All right, here we go. And hopefully we're not too heavy to float just normally again. Okay, all right, that looks good. That looks good. And it looks like it's floating relatively even now. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have more speed now, which means we're actually going to be more likely to lift out of the water because we have more engines, but hopefully we've added enough weight to offset that. You know, I might just get rid of my back engines entirely because this... Oh, wait, we're going back down. Okay, now I'm going to activate my fins. All right, they're activated. Oh, we're too heavy now. What an interesting development. Oh wait, turning makes us lift out of the water. That's interesting and unexpected. I think we're reaching like a nice equilibrium point. We were too light, now we've gone too heavy. So I'm going to not make myself any lighter. I'm going to just adjust the hydrofoil fin angles. Oh, let's do our, oh boy, thrusters are not a good idea. I found that out just now. All right, so I'm getting rid of this servo because it seems like the front is a little bit too heavy now. And we're going to put some of these fins up here in front. So hopefully our turning will be a little bit more consistent. And then I'm actually going to move these two thrusters back by like 1 tick, just to move our center of mass a little bit more centered. All right, and then I'm going to do an experiment here, and I'm going to put the back fins at 5 degrees and leave the front fins at 10 degrees. That way we're going to get a little bit more front lift than back lift, which will hopefully keep our engines then pointed slightly towards the surface, which will then hopefully gear our trajectory just at a slightly upward trajectory. And hopefully that'll keep us above the water. All right, we are in the water. Here we go. We're going to start going forward. I have not activated the fins yet. We're just getting a feel for our weight. Our weight looks relatively good. Okay, and we're activating the fins. Activating hydrofoils in 3, 2, 1. Activate. Oh, we're lifting up. We have lift up. Wait, what? Why is this such a huge difference all of a sudden? Now we're literally just on top of the water again. Is turning gonna... Oh, no. Oh, no. Why is this suddenly so much different? All right, we're gonna, oh, I need to go back to shore. How far out am I? All right, we're gonna have that. Wait, what happens if I use my thrust? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. All right, I can use my thrust in slight bursts, but if I hold it down for too long, you can clearly see what happens. Now I'm a dolphin. Now I'm a dolphin. We're a dolphin. We're a hydrofoil dolphin. Okay, fine-tuning. It's all about the fine-tuning now. We have the basic design down. We just got to find out a way that we can get it to work. Ideally, what I want is I want the fins to be kind of like just below the water. Right now, they're literally skimming across the top of the water. All right, we may have it here. We may have the final product of the Hammerhead Hydrofoil. Hopefully the aesthetic additions I've added did not add too much weight to offset everything that, all the balancing that we worked for, but we now have some exhaust vents on the side. We have a little bit more of aerodynamic pieces elsewhere that you can probably hunt. And then we also have the smoke coming out of the tail. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Are we still gonna float on top? Oh. All right, it looks like we still float on top. This is awesome. I wish it turned a little bit better, but I really don't think we can ask for that much more. Now, there's only one more experiment I want to do with this thing before we wrap up the episode, and that is I'm going to make the vertical pillars twice as long, just to see what happens. All right, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. They are now twice as long. Got to connect it right there. So now let's see if this has any effect on our hydrofoil's ability to lift this hammerhead out of water. It floats. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the longer, deeper hydrofoil. Is this going to be able to lift this hammerhead out of the water? Let's go ahead and activate our hydrofoil fins here. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's working. It's working. Will it stay? Oh no, it's going back down. Why is it going back? Okay, now it's going back up. Oh, okay. All right, now it's going back down. Oh, now we're tipping over. Wait, what? No. Why is it doing? Oh, okay. I think we may have found the limit. This is too tall. It kind of works, but we're a little bit too top heavy now. Understandably so. All right, well, I'm going to say, though, that it's working now. I'm going to say that this was actually a successful episode. We have successfully discovered that hydrofoils are possible, and we made one that works, and we've made a bunch that didn't work. But I'm going to focus on the ones that worked now. So let me know what you guys think. Are there any other boat ideas? We can't do submarines just yet. So we've done a hydrofoil, we've done a speedboat. What else do you guys want to see for boats? If not, that's fine. I still have another idea that I'm saving up for a non-boat idea that I think is going to be epic and fun to watch. But if you guys have any other cool boat ideas you want to see, we'll focus on that since this is a new update and it's fun to play with. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those episodes coming out. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.